We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Monday, October 13th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Niall.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Also, Moonju's with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's Monday, and we're kicking off another work week. And at the start of a new week, let's dive right into a story that's been stirring up a lot of discussion here in Korea. So for years, tattoos have been somewhat of a gray area in Korean society, popular among younger generations and in pop culture, but still facing social stigma and strict regulations. Now, a new law has been passed that could change the landscape for both tattoo artists and people who want to get ink. So now, can you break down what this new law says and why it's garnering so much attention?
Right. This past September, the Tattoo Act passed the National Assembly's plenary session, legalizing tattoo procedures by non-medical practitioners for the first time in 33 years. In 1992, the Supreme Court had ruled that tattooing was a medical practice, making non-medical tattoo procedures punishable by law. However, after more than a decade of efforts to legalize it, the bill has finally been passed.
Right. So, Moonju, why do you think this is generating so much buzz, though?
Yeah, tattooing in South Korea has traditionally been restricted to licensed medical professionals, making it effectively illegal for most tattoo artists. Despite this, the tattoo industry has grown continuously, with the Ministry of Health and Welfare estimating around 3 million tattooed individuals as of last year. The rise of tattoos among celebrities and K-pop idols have helped normalize body art, especially among younger generations. As public attitudes shift and demand remains strong, the issue of legalizing tattooing has become increasingly prominent, sparking widespread debate and interest.
Right, so that's also a striking contrast. On one hand, Korea has maintained one of the strictest legal stances on tattoos, yet, like you said, millions of people still have this. It really highlights how public demand has outpaced regulation and why lawmakers felt the need to address this issue. So let's also take a look at the screen to learn more. Tattoos have long served as a way for people to commemorate special moments, express themselves, or simply make a fashion statement. In South Korea, while tattoos are not uncommon, offering tattoo services has been restricted to medical professionals, even though most of the industry has been run by non-medical practitioners. Today on News Generation, we'll take a closer look at why non-medical tattooing has long been illegal, how perceptions of tattoos have shifted, particularly among the younger generations, and what the recent legalization of tattoo regulations could mean for the industry moving forward. So as we just saw in the video, tattooing in Korea has long been a legal gray area, allowed for medical professionals but off limits to everyone else. But in reality, the vast majority of tattoo artists are not doctors, and the industry continues to thrive underground. Despite tattoos becoming more mainstream, embraced by K-pop stars, athletes, and the younger generations, the law hadn't caught up with the social change. So for decades, non-medical tattoos are operating kind of a legal limbo, facing the risk of fines or prosecuted simply for practicing their craft. So why was that the case? What were the main reasons behind such strict regulations in Korea now?
Right. The tattoo industry has long voiced its concerns, but the difficulty in passing the law largely stemmed from the deeply rooted social perceptions about tattoos. In Korea, tattoos are less common than in other countries and are often viewed negatively. And since the 1980s, tattoos have been culturally associated with gang members, criminals, and other antisocial figures, reinforcing that negative image.
So it's interesting to see how culture factors shaped the way tattoos were viewed in Korea. Unlike in many other countries, tattoos became associated with criminal groups, which fueled this continuing long-standing stigma. And it really helps explain why passing legislation was such a challenge despite the industry's persistence. So do you know of any other reasons, Minju?
Yeah, one of the other reasons could be, in traditional Korean society, which Confucian values are deeply rooted, altering one's body was considered as a sanctioned behavior, as the body was seen as a gift from your parents. And also respecting elders and adhering to their guidance was, a strong cultural norm here in South Korea, especially in the past days. and most parents held negative views toward the tattoos. So as a result, there was an unspoken consensus that tattoos were undesirable, and this sentiment has subtly shaped, the public attitudes. So naturally, even today, many Koreans seem to carry a lingering sense of discomfort towards tattoos. Yeah.
I think you made a really important point there. So cultural values, like we said, Confucian emphasis on respecting the body given by one's parents clearly influence attitudes towards tattoos for generations. But we've seen that perception of tattoos has been shifting, especially among the younger generation. So how have attitudes changed among millennials and Gen Zs in particular, Niall?
Right. Statistics show that perceptions of tattoos vary greatly by age group. And let's take a look at this graph. According to a survey by Hanguk Research, attitude towards tattoos in Korea varies significantly by age group. Amongst those aged 18 to 19, 63% held positive or neutral views of tattoos, while 37% viewed them negatively. In 30s to 39 age group, opinions were more divided, with 48% expressing positive or neutral perceptions and 52% holding negative views. And now, amongst people aged 60 and older, 71% viewed tattoos negatively, while only 29% had a positive or neutral perception. And many young people express their individuality through tattoos and hand-poke tattoos, which have become a new thing, which resemble drawings made with crayons. They've become especially popular here in Korea. People often get tattoos to symbolize something or someone personally very meaningful to them. And I was told to tell my personal story of how I got my tattoo. I grew up in North Africa, and they have these amazigh tattoos, which are traditionally done with hand poking methods on your face and hands and neck. And while I have jobs here in Korea, I thought it would be a little difficult to find them if I got a face tattoo, so I have it on my back where I rarely see it either. So
Real quick, what's the difference between like hand poke tattoos and like normal tattoo pens?
right, so they have these machines that they use, and traditionally when they did not have these machines, they would actually hand poke them with needles and put ink in it by hand, and so that is the biggest difference. And in terms of style, it seems a little more rough around the edges, but I think that's kind of the beauty of it as well. There's more natural beauty to the hand poke tattoos.
I see. So the stats clearly show that younger people are much more open to tattoos, using them to express individuality or commemorate something meaningful like Niall did. It's also interesting to hear your own example. So I'm curious, what role have celebrities played in shaping how tattoos are perceived in Korea? We've seen this influence with fashion and other trends. Is it similar when it comes to tattoos, Minju?
Yeah, it is definitely. Celebrities have played a key role in shifting public perception of tattoos here in South Korea. Figures like BTS's Jungkook, G-Dragon, or JPARK have openly showcased their tattoos, helping normalize body art among fans and even the general public. Even aespa's Karina has worn stockings designed to resemble fashion tattoos, blurring the line between the style and the ink. These days, people can experiment tattoo with the tattoo stickers without committing to the permanent ink. Actress Han So-hee is well known for frequently using this, which has helped ease discomfort around tattoos and made them more approachable for a wider audience. Personally, I've also often thought of, getting a hidden tattoo, but the fear of me regretting later, it kind of hesitated me from getting it. But now that I know that there is a tattoo sticker, I might want to enjoy it someday. Yeah.
Do you know what design you would like to have?
Like stars or moons, like where I could like have it in a cute way. I think that could be very nice to have it. Yeah.
I feel like that's a classic. And to also get a closer look at how the tattoo industry is evolving, we'll be speaking with an expert from the field. So that conversation is coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
We're joined today by Julie Kim, a tattoo artist originally from Korea who's currently living in Texas. So hi, Julie. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me here today.
So what are your personal thoughts on the legalization of non-medical tattooing?
So, first of all, when I heard this news, I was actually really happy and excited for me and also all the tattoo artists in Korea. Because, as you guys mentioned, over 30 years, tattooing without medical license was illegal. So, a lot of tattoo artists were living under fear because we didn't have any legal protections. So, there's some customer used that law against us and treated us like a criminals and we could go to jails and stuff like that. So finally this law passing that gives a protections that all the tattoo artists needed. So we're really grateful. And also um, this law passing is just not about passing the law. I felt like Korea was finally invalidating all the tattoo artists in Korea. That is a professional job and accepting this is creative industry needed to be accepted. But I did have one concern about this tattoo law passing is because there's a lot of tattoo artists who's been tattooing in the industry for many years. But what if they don't pass the test? And that means they will lose their job, they will lose their career and livelihood. So I was thinking hopefully government can provide fair and flexible system that could see the artist's experience and skills as well.
Wow, thank you so much for that deep insight about how you wish to see tattoo industry evolving here in Korea. Do you feel that the younger generation's perceptions of tattoos have changed? If so, how?
I think it's definitely shifting into positive directions. Like you guys mentioned, like social media and celebrities having a tattoo. So younger generation will see that and won't think tattoos are scary or rebellious anymore. Because I used to go out in public and people used to give me a look and stare because I do have quite a bit of tattoos on my body. But nowadays, when I go onto public, I see a lot of people actually have a tattoos. So that made me think like, oh, finally, Korea have a lot of people are accepting this as a creative and beautiful. And also, I think a lot of people are seeing it tattoo as a different direction as like they could cover up their insecurities, like scars or birthmark, or even created something they don't have anymore, like a breast cancer patients as well. So I think tattoo culture in Korea is shifting into very positive directions.
Yeah, I do agree with you. In other ways, how do you hope the culture and perception of tattoos in Korea will change in the future?
I think Korea, the tattoo culture in Korea will grow very, very big, like K-drama, K-pop, or K-beauty, because Korean tattoo has a very specific style, which is very small but very detailed and also very cute. So I think in the future, a lot of foreigners will want to come to Korea just to get tattoos. So it will very impact very positive in Korea. And also hopefully in the future they will have like tattoo festival, conventions or competitions. So tattoo culture can be celebrated amongst all the people.
So your mention of festivals makes me really excited to see how the tattoo culture will evolve in Korea as well. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So we just heard from someone in the industry about how tattoos are evolving in Korea. We also touched upon how celebrities and social media have influenced public perceptions, helping tattoos gain visibility and a sense of mainstream appeal right here in Korea. But this makes me wonder, Niall, how are tattoos perceived in other countries?
Right. I mean, the meaning of tattoos vary greatly across different cultures, and in some countries, tattoos are considered sacred or a symbol of cultural pride. And as I mentioned personally, like in North Africa, where I came from, it's actually a history of long tradition. And in other parts like Europe and United States, where personal freedom and individuality are highly valued, tattoos generally aren't seen as a major issue, but a creative personal expression.
Right, I've noticed the same thing. I've lived abroad as well. In countries like tattoos are seen as sacred or a source of cultural pride, while in places like Europe or in the US, they're often just a form of personal expression. They don't carry much stigma. So it really highlights how culture and society values shape how tattoos are perceived. So Moonju, do you know of any other cases where culture difference influenced how young people in different countries perceive tattoos?
Yeah, in the United States, it's common to see Gen Z sharing stories on social media about regretting tattoos they got on impulse or just because of following the trends, highlighting just how widespread the tattoo culture has been in the United States. And Japan, on the other hand, has taken a more conservative approach as South Korea did. Legal recognition of tattooing only came in recent years, partly, due to its long-standing association with the Yakuza, which has shaped public perception for decades.
So far, we've explored how tattoos are viewed in Korea, from being traditionally stigmatized to gaining popularity among the younger generations. We've also looked at how perceptions differ across cultures. In some countries, tattoos are embraced as a form of self-expression or cultural pride, while in others, they remain closely linked to a social taboo. So this contrast really shows how attitudes towards tattoos are shaped by history, tradition, and social norms. We wanted to hear directly from the public, so we asked our audience on the Arirang News YouTube channel, what is your perception of tattoos? So let's take a look at some of the responses here. So more than half of respondents, about 55%, said they view tattoos as a form of self-expression. Around 30%, however, said that people with tattoos make them feel uncomfortable, while the remaining 15% shared other opinions. So it seems that the majority now view tattoos as a form of self-expression, something that allows people to showcase their individuality or commemorate meaningful moments. So this really reflects what we've been discussing about how perceptions of tattoos have evolved, especially among the younger generations, and how social media and celebrities have helped normalize them here in Korea. So even though tattooing by non-medical professionals has now been legalized, it's still a topic of debate right now. So what exactly is fueling the controversy now?
Right. I mean, as in many societies, there's different opinions, but Korea is generally quite conservative. So the recent rise in no tattoo zones has definitely sparked controversy. Such restrictions are most common in places like swimming pools and gyms, where people argue that large or prominent tattoos can create a sense of discomfort or unease.
So it looks like things will take some time. So Moonju, are there any other aspects of tattooing that are still a topic of debate?
Yeah, another major one would be, on South Korean terrestrial TV, tattoo exposure is still regulated, and which means many celebrities have to cover their tattoos with the tape or the clothing when appearing on the screen. And this policy has sparked ongoing debate, with opinions divided over whether such restrictions are outdated or is it necessary for maintaining broadcast standards.
So we've looked at the legalization of tattooing by non-medical professionals and how perceptions of tattoos are changing here. So to wrap up our discussion today, what do you think will change in the tattoo industry and culture as a result of this new law, Niall?
Yeah, I think Julie mentioned a lot of it already, but Korean tattoo artists have already been gaining this reputation outside of Korea amongst tattoo fanatics, with their delicate style, maybe a little cute and sometimes just very beautiful. And with this legalization, I believe more Koreans will also be open to the idea of it. And it certainly has changed a lot in the past 10 years. And while I do think some of it is a little bit of a trend, I think when people find deeper meaning of self-expression with tattoos, it will be definitely a lasting form of art.
So what about you, Moonju?
Yeah, I do completely agree with Naya and also with Julie. The Korean wave has reached its peak, like including K-pop, K-dramas, K-films, K-beauty even, and they are leading a global industry and also the conversations. So, and I think there is no reason that the tattoo can't be. Korea is home to many highly artistic tattoo artists, and thus I think their work has the potential to gain international recognition and influence, just like other aspects of Korean culture.
I think you can also see online, like people getting tattoos of different celebrities and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting to see. Like, do you look forward to maybe getting a tattoo sometime?
As I just mentioned earlier, yeah, I really wanted to get it sometime, but some days, but I kind of was scary of regretting it, but I think I will start with tattoo sticker if I really want it, and then I'll move on with the ink maybe.
And there's also options like henna.
Yeah.
Yes, henna actually, it only lasts about 2 weeks, so you can try it out, and maybe if you want a certain design, try it out with henna first and then move into it. But there's also these tattoo printers. I don't know if you've seen them.
What is this?
So you can kind of paste it onto your skin, and it's basically like printing a tattoo on. It's like a tattoo sticker, but it won't last forever. But I think that's a creative way to do things. Enjoy it for festivals, maybe. Yeah.
It is definitely, yeah.
So do you know any of like other tattoo artists or like anyone in this industry?
Well, I do, but I think they just promote themselves on social media up until now. Now that it's legalized, I don't know how they'll go on from here, but there's definitely many, many talented tattoo artists here in Korea that have been around for a long time. And I want to particularly highlight some of the people that have very traditional Korean art merged into tattoos. And I think those are very unique and beautiful, specifically here to Korea. And I don't think I should mention one specific one on air, but yeah.
I feel like I definitely, like you said before, we'll see more of that on media as well, more social media as well. So while tattoos remain a decisive topic for some, with the legalization of tattooing growing acceptance among younger generations, tattoos in Korea are starting to be seen not as a source of controversy, but as a celebration of individuality and creativity. Still, the debate is far from over. As Korean society continues to balance tradition with modern values, new controversies would probably emerge, such as broadcasting restrictions that require celebrities to cover their tattoos on TV. But with so many talented and artistically driven tattooists in Korea, we may soon see more of them taking their craft beyond borders, sharing their creativity with the world, and redefining what Korean tattoo culture represents on the global stage. And this brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Big thanks to Niall.
No problem.
And also Moonju.
Thanks for having me today.
Coming in. And to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have the best day. We are
News Generation.